new developments in education. There are three exciting developments happening in the field of education that will pave way for the need to promote teacher leaders. According to the founder and CEO of the Center of Teaching Quality, Barnett Berry, the following shifts in education will promote the need to develop teacher leaders. So the number one is new forms of assessments are becoming more accepted and used by educators. Performance-based assessments are being used more than standardized-based assessments. The shift from a traditional paper and pencil form of assessment leads to a new form of evaluating students. Expertise of teachers who had been in the field and for quite some time, combined with new researchers, will allow new teacher leaders to emerge. So, that means, sa panahon ngayon, mas kinukonsider na or tinatanggap na ng mga teacher ang pag-a-assess ng mga estudyante base sa kanilang performance. Compared sa dati na wherein it's more on pencil and paper. So, ang uso ngayon or kung ano yung mas ina-accept ngayon, hindi siya trending. I mean, although siya ay trending kasi nga ginagamit siya, but still, parang siya yung innovative way of assessment wherein it is based on the performance of the students. So, mas maganda yung ngayon, it's because mas nade-develop yung ibang talent ng estudyante wherein not all students are good in academically or intellectually. Some are good in curricular activities or other things that is performed. So, due to that, hindi na ilalayo or hindi na alienate yung ibang talent ng ibang estudyante. The next one is that organizational structures are becoming leaner and flatter, making it possible for teachers to collaborate closely as they are provided more autonomy and freedom to engage in decision making. Okay, on that part, teachers can work closely together and can share practices that work with the students. The fact that they are no longer bound by restrictive policies will enable new teacher leaders to make decisions based on what they think is appropriate for their students. So on this part, nagkakaroon ng freedom yung mga teacher to collaborate with other teachers. It is because there is no longer restrictive policies that hinders them para makipag-communicate. And also, kapag nagko-collaborate sila with other teachers, syempre, they share practices. So, that means, kung effective yung isang strategy para kay teacher 1, so, pwede niya i-share yun dun sa ibang teacher. And through that, nagkakaroon ng maraming strategy wherein they can use for effective learning. And also, on this part, the teachers have the freedom to decide what to do or what to choose, kung ano yung naiisip nila na mas best for their students. So, they already have the freedom to decide. Hindi na kailangang, hindi na nila kailangang humingi ng mando from above wherein they can already decide. So, the next shift is that, the next and the last is, teachers have more opportunities to network with other teachers, making it possible to benchmark and share best practices. So, technological advancement and more opportunities given to teachers allow for more collaboration. And by providing teachers platforms to discuss their experiences and share best practices. So, on this part, technology is being used. And then, by using technology, wherein the teacher collaborate with each other, they share experiences, strategies on their own that they think is best. And when they do that, of course, some teachers might or is possibly going to adopt that strategies para mas effective yung learning ng mga estudyante. Kasi the more these strategies, and we're not bound to use one strategy only. Syempre, of course, it is better that we use different strategies because our students have diverse way of learning. Kaya it is very important na marami tayong strategies sa pagtuturo. So, because of this, maraming opportunity dun sa ang nag-open up sa mga teacher kasi nakakapag-collaborate sila with other teachers through the use of technology. And of course, it will result to best practices. Kasi matitimbang nila or they will know what is the best thing to do or what strategy is to use to a certain students or to a certain group of students. Kasi alam na nila or kasi they already listen or they already heard some stories from other teachers, and that is very important.
So in the previous discussion, it was tackled that there were new developments happening in education or when it comes to teaching. Now, the new development requires teachers, types of leader that should emerge in education. However, policy support is very necessary when it comes to this. That's why in order to develop teacher leader, Berry conclude or suggest that in order to promote them, the following must be present. Number 1, we have an idea and plan for teacher leadership. Why planning is important in leadership? Well, because a clear plan is equal to clear direction of goals. And of course, a clear direction is important. A clear direction of the task that should be done should be clear to the members of an institution. Without it, the goal and the purpose would be useless. Another thing to consider is that the involvement of all the teachers when it comes to planning or creating of goals or formulation of goals. They said that 2 heads is better than 1. What more if there are a lot of heads that would be collaborate with each other? Well, that would surely be fine and great. Next one is a helpful administration. Great administration comes with great members. Because more importantly, at administration who is able to support or empower their teachers or staff will be a great result. How? By providing them opportunities to decide or create their own decision. And at the same time, the administration should establish leadership programs. For what? Why is it necessary to establish such program? Well, because it is a way to hone or enhance their leadership and apply it to their professions. Third one, there should be appropriate resources. Without resources, the development would not be possible. There should be available support given to the teachers for them to grow professionally. With proper support system, there would be a proper and possible result. Then the fourth one we have is work structure should allow authentic collaboration. To attain professional development, the teacher should involve or engage in an authentic collaboration. And when we say authentic, it is a clear and real interaction with the members. Sabi nga nila, doon tayo sa totoo lang, kumbaga. And why do we need it? Why is it necessary? Well, actually, the aim of this is to give time to the teachers to work together. And by working together, they will be able to share what they know and share best practices. By that, their teaching will improve. Another thing is that engaging teacher in a team teach will be helpful in a same set of students because they will be able to provide enough time to design a lesson that is appropriate to a certain students or group of students. So authentic collaboration is very important in a working environment to create a better version of educators.
Another idea that Berry concludes in order to promote teacher leaders is social norms and working relationship. Respecting differences is very important because it signifies the acknowledgement of varying expertise. This also serves as a key in order to promote teacher leaders. This requires commitment to the students and respect to other different areas of expertise. We all know that social norms emerge naturally from social interaction, and educationally speaking, the classroom is a social setting where teaching and learning occur from the social interaction of the teachers and the students. As the teaching and learning take place, they are affected by the peer group relationships, and in that way the teachers are expected to help the students in order to develop their attitude and understand the individual's differences. Even though teachers have different areas of expertise, still they have to work together and share the expertise from one another in order for them to educate the child. The next idea is that there should be indistinct lines that delineate teaching and learning. So the teachers are typically defined as an advisor, a mentor, educator, checking and determining what support each student will need in order to continue developing as a learner. However, being a teacher is not just about teaching, because teaching is also leading. So the teachers are the leaders in their classroom, and in an institution, the teachers and the administrators should work together in order to lead. So the teachers can maximize and empower their skills and their talents without cheap of roles from the administrators and the teachers. So, moreover, they have the incredible opportunity to equip and empower the teacher for them to lead inside and outside the classroom. And the last one is the whole school system must be willing to take risk and pursue an inquiry approach in assessing the learning and the teaching process. So just like students who need an hands-on applied learning rooted in inquiry, the teachers also need a powerful driving questions in order to push their work forward. So the education is expected to provide the students with the competencies that they will need in the future. And it will only happen if the school and the teachers manage to pursue an inquiry in assessing the teaching and the learning process and try to innovate. So the teachers and the schools should work together as a team in order to improve the students' outcome. Eventually, the education system here in the world is changing in order to equip the students with a high level of skills and talents and even new horizontal skills. So the expectation from the teacher is getting higher and rising each day. After all, successful learners generally had a teacher who is not just a mentor, but also took a real interest in their aspirations and helped the students learn and build effective learning strategies as a foundation in lifelong learning.
Paving the way for teachers to become leaders means preparing the way for teachers to become leaders. As a response, in 2016, Killian, Harrison, Cotton, Brian, Delihan, and Cookie identified the various ways for schools to develop leaders. It is imperative or important to first and foremost have the solid definition of teacher leadership as well as the desired outcomes. It is because it will lead to a clear vision of roles and responsibilities associated with it. In the Philippines, most studies reveal that teacher leadership is always associated with formal leadership. Formal leadership is a kind of leadership which is like or the same with those of CEOs, where leaders are officially appointed or designated. However, there are various definitions of teacher leadership, and it proves that leadership goes beyond the formal roles inside the classroom or the schools. It is extended in the community as they help people engage in schools activities. With that being said, it is very necessary for the school community, which consists of head teachers, students, and other stakeholders, to have a harmonious relationship as well as good communication, where they could go together to share their concepts of teacher leadership as well as the roles and responsibilities associated with it. Is because it will enable the various stakeholders of the school, as in particular the teachers, to share their challenges, their expectations, or their experiences. By giving that kind of work environment to the teachers will be able to have confidence in taking other responsibilities as they go on their journey of their teacher leadership. It will also eliminate their fears and develop enthusiasm to do their works.
And for number 2, it is about creating work environment that supports the development of teacher leadership. And to have a healthy environment, it requires culture of acceptance and supportive structures. First, let's tackle about culture of acceptance. We have relational trust. It has something to do with the relationship among people who work in a certain institution. In a school, it is very important to have an established, meaningful relationship. And in order to have this, there must be a trust. Building a trust is a process. It's not like the first meeting you instantly have each other's trust. And trust doesn't only exist between teachers and the students, but also with all other staffs and other teachers. By simply acquiring this, definitely it would possibly have a great effect to the school as a whole, and particularly to the teachers as a leader. The next one is collective responsibility. Teachers should be competent enough to handle responsibilities and honest to their vulnerabilities. Teacher leaders carry responsibilities more than benefits. That's why maybe there's a time that they are feeling exhausted, but still they continue to do their work responsibly. Having collective responsibility also hones teachers, because teachers with collective responsibility are more likely to have higher teaching effectiveness, but also tend to foster a more equitable learning environment. Moreover, when teachers work together for the common good of the students, they can able to influence their students and help and guide them for greater achievements. And the next one is about commitment to the development. Commitment means teachers should be committed to the development. Develop whatever they need to develop. Committing to continuous development is also essential in making sure that teachers will grow professionally. It is very crucial to the teachers to not stop learning and develop their skills and knowledge. And in order to do this, teachers are attending various seminars, observing other teachers, doing peer observations, and giving each other feedback. Through all of this, they get so much learning that will help for their better teachings to their students as well as the school. And the last one, for culture of acceptance, we have recognition and celebration. Recognition and giving awards are not only for students but can also be for teachers. Celebrating and recognizing the expertise of each teacher are important considerations to make in order to show how much each one is valued. These also serve as their motivations to continue their hard work. This may be difficult in a culture that still promotes difference to hierarchy, but to truly value and respect each one is essential in the paving the way to develop teacher leaders. In the same light, when administrators give teachers the liberty to make classroom decisions that are aligned with the direction of the school, it gives teachers the opportunity to innovate reforms in the classroom, which can lead to better learning for the students. And now let's proceed for supportive structure. Under supportive structure, we have comprehensive plan for teacher leadership. It is important to have a comprehensive plan for teacher leadership wherein it will serve as guide for the future action. It is also stated that a comprehensive plan would include the engagement of various stakeholders to take part in formulating the leadership and provisions of adequate resources to support the new initiative. It simply means that in order to achieve the vision, long-range objectives, and goals for the school or a certain institution, then the comprehensive plan must be followed, and there must be a support and engagement coming from other stakeholders other than teachers. Next to it is changing of roles. Roles and responsibilities will have to, and there should be a clear distinction of the roles of teacher leaders. For the leadership plan to work, it is necessary that everyone must be willing to share their beliefs, values, and norms on how they share responsibilities and view leadership. And in addition to this, teachers should be also flexible in handling responsibilities regarding leadership. We also have preparation, support, and supervision. Preparation support will entail pursuing further studies, attending seminars and workshops on leadership. Mentoring and coaching in accordance with the identified leadership standards, regular feedback, goal setting, and reflection. Of course, teacher leader must be equipped and prepared enough to handle their responsibilities. In order to do that, they should have those things. And for the last one, under supportive structure, we have provision for opportunities to lead. Careful planning of the leadership program also provides teachers with opportunities to lead by identifying events, tasks, and activities that enable teachers to share their expertise. The teacher's leadership skills are honed. Lastly, it is important to designate someone to champion teacher leadership in the community. This would ensure continuity of the program and will signal the school's commitment in transforming teachers to leaders.
A pleasant morning to everyone. My topic is paving the way for the teachers to become leaders. Then under this, it is vital to cultivate appropriate dispositions for teacher leadership. By Killian et al., 2016, page 12. When we talk about leaders, what is the first thing that comes into our mind? Okay, they are the role model. As a role model, they should possess qualities appropriate for their position. It is necessary to set an appropriate disposition. Why? Because, based on my observation, if there's no standard given, the quality may suffer. It is something like that if there's no set standards for teacher leadership, the effectivity and quality of leadership will be the question. Okay, great. For the effectivity of teacher leadership, there are set of dispositions that all leaders should possess regardless of functions. First is passion and commitment for student learning. It tackles about our passion and goal as a teacher leaders, that we love our profession and we love to teach. It is a lifetime commitment and it is necessary that we are ready to commit. We are always aiming for good, that our students will be able to learn and will be a good citizen someday. Second is, should possess broader perspective. Once a teacher leaders don't possess this kind of perspective, the learning of both teacher and students will not happen. The teacher leaders should have a broader perspective, open for suggestion, correction, and clarification, and also a broader perspective when it comes to the subject matter. For example, the student is having a different perspective regarding the topic. Having a broader perspective as a teacher, you must accept your students' perspective. They learn from us and we learn from them. The third set of disposition is humble. I believe in this Bible verse, Luke 14 verse 11. Sapagkat ang nagmamataas ay ibinababa at ang nagpapakumbaba ay itinataas. Being humble is the most crucial qualities a teacher leader should possess. The teacher leaders should be down to earth and willing to help with her colleagues and students in her all capabilities. The fourth is courageous and willing to take risk. A quitters never win and a winner never quits. A teacher leader must be a fighter and aware of her responsibility and accountability. Fifth set of disposition is confident. It is the best asset a teacher leader should wear. Being confident as a teacher leader seems like you know everything and everyone will follow you. Sixth is flexible. A teacher leader should be able to adapt and cope with the changes. If a teacher leader is fixed mindset, the students will be affected. There's no growth, being stuck in the same situation and lack of progress. And last one is possess enthusiasm for continuous learning. The teacher leaders value their own professional development. They continuously find means and ways to grow professionally and personally. They believe that everyone is the agent of change. For example, the teacher leaders continues to study for their master degree and attending seminars and workshops for improving their skills.
important to assess the impact of the teacher leadership program. One way to determine if the program is working is by evaluating the impact of the students' leadership on the following areas. Siyempre, mahalaga ang teacher leadership program para mas lalong masanay ang ating mga kaguruan sa pagiging isang epektibong leader. Hindi porket sinabing leader, hindi na kailangan na magkaroon ng evaluasyon o magkaroon ng pagsusuri kung gaano ka kadami o kalaki yung kanilang kaalaman sa pagiging isang leader. At isa sa mga daan upang malaman kung epektibo ang teacher leadership program ay ang pagkakaroon ng evaluasyon sa mga estudyante. Siyempre, ang isang guro na nagkaroon ng partisipasyon sa teacher leadership program ay mayroong natututunan at maaari nila itong isabuhay. At maaari nila itong ituro sa kanilang mga estudyante upang maisabuhay rin ang kanilang mga estudyante. First, examining the teacher's leadership program, which includes the supports provided available avenues for leadership, schemes and structures, usefulness and impact of the program on the various stakeholders. This should be done annually in order to improve the program. Ang magkaroon ng pagpaplano ang teacher's leadership program upang malaman natin kung ito ba ay tumutugon sa pangangailangan na kaalaman ng mga guro na nais maging isang leader. Kung ito ba ay mayroon isang maayos na pagpaplano at organisadong pagpaplano. Kung ito ba ay kapakipakinabang or is it a way of achieving or a goal? At kung ano ang magiging impact nito sa iba't ibang stakeholders. At syempre, ginagawa ito yearly upang mabago at maiba ang mga mali na nagawa noon. The second area needs to be assessed is the performance of the teacher leaders using identified performance indicators which are aligned to the function of the leader. This also includes the performance of the teachers and the students. This is also done yearly to improve practices. Mahalagang magkaroon ng evaluasyon ang performance ng isang guro upang malaman natin kung epektibo ba ito. At magkakaroon tayo ng evaluasyon sa pamamagitan ng paggamit ng mga performance indicators na naka-align sa mga kakayahan ng isang tunay na leader. Kasama rin nito ang performance ng mga guro at ng mga estudyante. Ginagawa ito yearly upang mabago ang mga mali at upang maitama ito. A third area to be assessed is a personal and collaborative reflection of one's own practice. This is done yearly to determine who needs to improve and strengthened. Siyempre, bilang isang guro or bilang isang estudyante o bilang isang leader, mahalagang magkaroon ng reflection sa iyong sarili upang malaman mo kung mali ba ito, tama ba yung ginawa mo, kung may dapat ka bang baguhin o kung dun lang siya or kung ipagpapatuloy mo yung ginagawa mo. Ginagawa ito kada taon upang malaman mo sa sarili mo kung ano pa yung mga dapat baguhin, kung ano yung mga dapat idagdag at kung ano yung mga dapat panatilihin.
Transitioning into teacher leaders, the provision of structures and deliberate programs for teacher leadership gives teacher an opportunity to assume leadership roles. Although these support mechanisms are important, it is also essential to determine the path the teacher go through before assuming leadership roles. The different stages according to Sanoki 2013 are as follow. The first stage of the teacher's journey toward transitioning into leadership roles is that they all start as classroom teacher. Sanoki 2013 page 136. Teacher enter the profession with a mission to teach student as such to accept responsibilities which will not impact a student directly is something that does not appeal to them. In this stage, teaching is their sole focus. In this stage, teachers have a mission, and that is to be or perform as a teacher themselves as a leader. We are aware of its responsibilities as a teacher. The second stage is characterized by the teacher's own reflection of the journey as he or she experienced distributed leadership. The teacher continues to reflect about her journey, taking into consideration what worked and what needs to be improved. Through reflection, the teacher begins to assess his own values and beliefs on leadership. Sanoki 2013, page 137. In this stage, a journey as a teacher, we will face many challenges that they may overcome our fears. This will make ourselves more strong enough to face the field of teaching. The third stage is described as overcoming fears on leadership. This is brought about by constantly reflecting on one's own practices. Sanoki 2013, page 137. In this stage, as a teacher, we ourselves is also a leader who will serve as a guide of our student. In the fourth stage, teacher leaders gain confidence in doing their roles as they work with others while giving utmost respect to the more experienced and senior teachers, and recognize that they need to operate within the confines of the hierarchical leadership structure. Sanoki 2013, page 137. In this stage, as a teacher, we should also be more socialized, especially in every school events. We will be the one to lead. In the fifth stage, the teacher leaders continues to perform her roles in improving the community by collaborating and working with various stakeholders to improve the curriculum, pedagogy, and assessment, and serving as a link between administration and teachers. Sanoki 2013, page 137. In this stage, the role of a teacher is not easy. We should adapt every school cultures so that we will be able to perform our roles actively. In the sixth stage, teacher leaders continue to perform their function as they seek ways on how to implement positive and essential reforms within the school. These teachers continue to pursue reforms that will greatly impact the teacher learning process. Sanoki 2013, page 130. This stage, a teacher should always share responsibilities and do our duties as a teacher. That's all. Thank you.